What is up, people? What is up? This is Abraham Walker again with another live stream. I'm so pleased to see you all after this amazing weekend. We have a great show for you lined up for today, where we're talking about where you can live in Northern Virginia without a car. Right. So Northern Virginia is a very large metropolitan area. Right. So if you think about it, Northern Virginia is like the suburb of DC, Washington, DC, on the eastern side on the western side of the DC area, right? So we have a lot of people who come to this area who are maybe moving from other larger metro areas, maybe New York, parts of California, parts of Texas, and they may already be accustomed to living in the area without a car. And so you probably ask yourself, can I do the same thing in the DC area? And that's in the Northern Virginia area specifically. And that's a great question that we'll answer today. And we'll kind of highlight some areas that you can actually do just that in this region. Now, the living without a car concept is actually picking up more steam as we go into this sharing economy, right? We have companies, we have ride sharing, we have companies like Uber Eats that offer door-to-door delivery of your food. Then we have the grocery delivery services that are also picking up steam right now too. So you'll notice that it is very possible now, depending on depending on how well you can deal with waiting for things, that you could definitely live in a lot of areas in the Northern Virginia area without a car. But this video isn't going to talk about those particular areas because, to be quite frankly, if you are patient enough, then you can deal with these new services anywhere in the area. We're really talking about areas where you can kind of walk to places, get to your desired destination without a car altogether. Maybe walking your groceries to your house, walking to and from public transportation, that type of lifestyle. That's what this video is all about. Now, I will just say up front, DC proper compared to Northern Virginia as far as walking is concerned, there's no comparison. DC is, I would say, almost set up to be a walking city, a walking destination, and there's public transportation all around. There's the metro, there's different metro stops all around. So DC, hands down, has both Northern Virginia and Maryland beat in this regard, right? But you're not watching this video if you're thinking about living in DC. You're watching this video because you are trying to decide where you're going to live in Northern Virginia without a car. Okay, so just want to get that out of the way right quickly. So great. So we actually have 4 different areas we're going to highlight in this video, and just to kind of let you know like how this video is going to flow. We're going to talk about 2 areas, and then we're going to do a brief intermission. If you have some questions you would like me to answer, put those in the comment section. We'll answer any questions that we get at the beginning of the show during the intermission. If you have any questions for me towards the end of the show, we'll also have another Q&A at the end of the show to answer any questions real time. That's one of the benefits that we have by doing this live stream setup, is that we can answer the questions in real time versus you making a comment on one of my YouTube videos and then I comment later, and then you comment, so it speeds up the whole process. Okay. So where to live in Northern Virginia without a car? Let's start that show. So my name is Abraham Walker. I'm your favorite Northern Virginia YouTube real estate agent. On this channel, we do the research so you don't have to. If you're thinking about moving or relocating anywhere in the Northern Virginia area, use the link in the description to fill out your perfect home questionnaire. This questionnaire is a very brief survey. Once you complete that short survey, we'll meet online and you can ask me anything you want about Northern Virginia. Now, this whole process, this video series is my way of kind of introducing you to the market and interviewing for the job of hopefully representing you on the buy side or the sell side, whatever you choose to do in the area. So enough about me. Where or what are the best places to live in Northern Virginia without a car? First up, we have Arlington. So Arlington is voted as the best city in America to live in and by niche.com. And it's for good reasons, right? Like Arlington has a lot of amenities. They have high cost of living, but also they have high salaries as well. They have great public schools, great public transportation. There's great amenities. There's a lot to love about living in Arlington. And it's also one of the reasons why it was voted as one of the best places to live by niche.com. We did a video. About that. I'm gonna put the link up to the video right there, and then also there'll be a link to that video in the description where we go into more details about what makes Arlington so great, such a great area to live. Now, Arlington is really if you look on the Northern Virginia side of things, Arlington is really the only city I would say is a true city in Northern Virginia, right? Because Northern Virginia is a makeup of really more or less counties, which are large geographic areas where there isn't really a true city center, right? And Arlington would be the closest thing we have to that in this region. Because of that, Arlington already has several metro stations, metro stops that go through the Arlington area, and the metro rails. In case you're doing some googling or searching on your own, there's an orange line, blue line, silver line, and yellow line. All have connections through the Arlington area, right? And so that makes it very convenient for you to get to different job centers throughout the region, and it just makes it easy for you to just get throughout the region, both the DC, Maryland, and Virginia region in Arlington without having a car. Now, another thing that really is nice about Arlington is that it's densely populated. I would say it's the most densely populated region or section of Northern Virginia, which means that there's going to be creature comforts everywhere. You're going to be able to find grocery stores, different shopping experiences, restaurants, cafes, coffee shops inside of the Arlington area that really is missing from other parts of Northern Virginia. Because remember, Northern Virginia is more like a suburb of DC. Yes, it's a huge suburb, but nonetheless, it's more or less a geographic location that services the DC area, right? So in addition to the metro lines, you also have the bus lines that weave themselves throughout the Arlington region, Arlington area, and that can take you either into the Fairfax County side of Arlington, which is going to be to the west of Arlington, or it could take you into, those buses can take you into the east, into DC, or to the south, into the city of Alexandria, right? Now, what's really cool about Arlington is Arlington doesn't have as many big box stores because it is an older part of the region. So that means that you're going to be able to shop at a lot of local spots with mom and pop owners, right? So individual owners, which is going to provide you with a very cool and unique buying experience. And, I find that Arlington residents are very protective of their mom and pop shops, right? So it's a cool vibe that you'll get by living in Arlington. And also, like I said, you'll be able to navigate Arlington, most of Arlington, without a car. Now, I will say there are parts of Arlington that are off the beaten path, right? And so you'll need to you would need to, I guess, maneuver through the Arlington area with the use of the bus and the metro. So my best suggestion for you is if you want to be metro heavy, then you probably want to live near a metro stop, right? Now, wherever you are right now, you want to start to think to yourself, if you're moving to the area, okay, great, how long of a walk do I want to manage if I were to commute via metro? Some people like to keep their metro stop, their metro walk, right? So from their front door to the metro stop within like a half mile to maybe 3/4 of a mile, because once you get into that mile and a half distance, it becomes it becomes less manageable, right? Because you have that mile long walk to the metro, and then you also have the different amenities that you're going to need to service on a regular basis, or frequent on a regular basis, right? That you have to also manage, right? So last thing I want to talk to you about the Arlington area. Well, really, second to last thing I want to talk to you about Arlington is a very large biking community, right? So you'll find people whizzing through on their bikes, their pedal bikes throughout the Arlington area. So that may also be another bonus for you if you're going to move to Arlington area. Now, biking, as far as weather is concerned, Northern Virginia has, I would say, biking weather for 3/4 of the year. Now, when it gets into the winter season, only I would say, you would have to buy some cold gear, right? Of course, but in the February and March timeframe, it can be snow. It can get to the snowing stages of our market. So I wouldn't advise you thinking that you would bike, year round. Right now, there are people who do bike year round, but when it snows, I don't see any bikes on the road. Okay, so just keep that in mind if you are a pedal biker. Now, the average sales price for Arlington, like I said, it is the closest region to DC, so it is also the most expensive. And so for a 2-bedroom, the average sales price for a 2-bedroom was $530,000 last year, and the average sales price for a 3-bedroom was $825,000. And then once you get into the 4 bedrooms, you get into the million price range, right? So our next stop on this journey will be Old Town, right? So Old Town is south of Arlington, and we're really talking about Old Town in the city of Alexandria, right? So not all of the city of Alexandria is walkable, but there are parts of Old Town that are walkable. And Old Town is, I would say, the largest cluster of shops, the largest cluster of restaurants that the city of Alexandria has. And you also can access the King Street Metro, right? So that's why it's on our list today. Now, Old Town is a very, very charming area. We, as a family, I live in Fairfax County, so in Kingstowne in Fairfax County, and we like to frequent the Old Town area because it actually reminds us of the French Quarter in New Orleans. Now, we actually did a walking tour, a walking video of the Old Town area. And I'm actually going to put that a link to that video right here, so you can see what I'm talking about as far as like how beautiful the Old Town area is. So there'll be a link right up there, and there'll also be a link in the description, right? Old Town has, like I said, there is the King Street Metro. There's also a couple city buses that weave through the Old Town area. And there's also a ferry that goes from Old Town to the National Harbor, right, which is in Maryland. Now, Old Town is a very flat area, so that makes it also a bike friendly part of the region. And remember, same thing goes for what I mentioned in the Arlington section, which is you're going to be biking maybe 9 to 10 months out of the year. 2 of those months, it's going to be very cold. There could be chances of snow. So don't bank on biking the entire year. Now, as far as who lives in Old Town, you're really, because of the price range, you're not going to see a large employment base in the Old Town area, right? So you're going to see a lot of people commuting into and out of the Old Town area. Whereas in Arlington has there's a higher concentration of employers in Arlington. So sometimes you'll see people live really close to their jobs, right? Now, in terms of Old Town being a more historic part of the region, the sales prices in Old Town are quite high, right, for the area. So for a 2-bedroom, you're looking at like $800,000. And for a 4-bedroom, you're looking upwards of $1 million, right? So Old Town, again, I just want to point this out. Old Town is in the city of Alexandria. not all of the city of Alexandria is going to be walkable, just certain parts of that area. So you want to be mindful if you're doing your searches online. Look for that King Street Metro stop, and that'll kind of help you start your research process when it comes to the Old Town area, right? So let's do a quick intermission right now. If we have anybody online with us, post your questions right here, and I will answer those for you. If you have any questions, like I said, this would be a great time for you to ask those questions. So for people who are watching this now, or if you are watching this video after this live stream goes up, have you ever lived in an area without a car? I'm curious, right? I've never lived myself in an area without a car, so it seems like a cool concept. I've never executed it though. So let us know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Do you think it's possible in the Northern Virginia area, or maybe you already live in a Northern Virginia area without a car and you're doing just fine? What's your secret? Like, help us understand how we can accomplish this goal. I know some people that are living in the area, even in the Kingstowne area, because we have the Franconia Springfield Metro stop is right down the street from our house. So I know a few people who do live in this area without a car, and they use Uber Eats. They use the what is the grocery shopping app? I can't think of the grocery shopping app, but the grocery shopping app, right? They just use some of the amenities that are available at this time. So since you're watching this video, since you made it this far, I can assume that you either live in this area or you are thinking about moving to this area, right? Either way, welcome to the video. I'm glad you joined us. And, do me a favor. If you are thinking about making that next step, maybe buying a house or selling your existing house and buying another house, don't be shy. Reach out to me. Use the link in the description to fill out your perfect home questionnaire. That questionnaire is a brief survey. Once you complete it, we'll meet online, and you can ask me anything you want about the Northern Virginia area, right? So that's it. So it looks like we don't have any questions right now. So please post those questions in the comment section, and we'll get to every question that is asked. All right, next up on our list is the Vienna Tysons Corner area, right? So what's cool about the Vienna Tysons Corner area is that it's really more or less like a redevelopment. So it was once developed. There were a lot of single family houses, some green space in the area, but there has been a huge focus on turning the Vienna Tysons Corner area into one of the most walkable regions in the DC metro area. And a lot of that push has to do with there are several high rises that are going up in the Tysons Corner area. And so one of the appeals to living in Tysons Corner or developing, right, one of the appeals to bringing those developers or those businesses to the Tysons Corner area is that Tysons Corner's redevelopment projects are centered around having a positive work-life balance. So I do know that there is a major push over the next 20 years, really. Like there are several projects to make Tysons much more attractive to individuals who do not want to have a car, or you don't even need a car. And that's a very cool concept that you'll be able to get into in the Tysons Vienna area. Now, Tysons Corner is really going to be the only place on this list that's actually in Fairfax County, because most of Fairfax County, to be honest with you, is not that walkable. It's more like bedroom communities where there aren't really employers or public transportation just widely available throughout most of the county. But that's not the case for Vienna Tysons Corner, right? So in Vienna Tysons Corner, there's bakeries, coffee shops. There's this cool Oktoberfest. There's this green space that has like the Cirque du Soleil and other outdoor events, right? All in Tysons Corner. So it's a cool place to live. It's a very nice vibe, and it's only 15 minutes from Washington, D.C. Now, they do have their own metro stop as well. And that's the cool thing about the Vienna area is that in addition to, assuming you don't have a car, you have the metro stop. You can get yourself to and from either to the west of the Vienna area, or to the DC area to the east, and then to the airport, to most likely to Reagan on the metro as well, right? National Airport. There are also bus stops that go through the Vienna area, which is, if you're Googling this or you're researching this at a later date, just look up the Fairfax connector to find out more information about that. Now, one thing about the buses, though, some of the buses are commuter buses only, so they're only in operation Monday through Friday between the hours that are commuting time, right? So just be careful if you are looking to move into that Vienna Tysons area and you're going to rely on a bus that is going to, maybe you're going to have some weekend trips, or maybe you have to go to the office on the weekends. Some of those buses don't run on the weekends. Just double check on that activity. Now, at this time, Tysons Vienna area is still like a little small town, but that is going to change over the next coming decades, right? A 2-bedroom home in this area in 2020 was about $446,000, and a 3-bedroom was close to $700,000. All right, so the next place on our list is Falls Church City. Now, one thing that's confusing about living in Northern Virginia is the name that we chose, that has been chosen for some of these areas. There's Falls Church City, and then there's Falls Church, which is in Fairfax County. These are two separate areas. Falls Church City is much smaller, but I would say that it is the more walkable section of Falls Church. Now, it's only 2 square miles. Like I said, it's a very small area, and thus, I almost hesitated to even add it to the list. But if you're searching online, you're going to see this come up as well. Now, one thing to consider: Falls Church City, because of its small size, there's only about 180 transactions a year. So I would say it's exclusive in the sense that there are just not that many properties available to purchase, or that come up on the market that often, right? So the Falls Church City it's walkable, is bike friendly. There's a quaint downtown area that's also very walkable. And it's I would say that it is one of those, almost like one of those communities on TV that you see, with almost like a main street, but not quite, right? It does provide easy access to public transportation. So now there isn't a metro stop inside of Falls Church City, but right outside. Remember, it's only 2 square miles, so it's not that far. Right outside of the Falls Church City boundaries is going to be West Falls Church and East Falls Church stations, right? Metro stations. So that makes it easy to access the DC area or get to Tysons if you needed to, right? Joggers and bikers alike will love the WNOD trail, right? That runs east to west through the northern part of the city as well. And 2 bedrooms in the Falls Church City area sold for about $650,000 in 2020, and the 3 bedrooms were just over $820,000 in Falls Church City. All right, so there you have it. Those are the areas that I believe in Northern Virginia you'll most likely want to live if you were living without a car, right? Now I will say this, and let me see if I can pull this up on my screen. Let me see. All right. All right, so let's do this. All right, so you see how we got these metro these different metro stops, right? I would say that if you're planning on living in the area and you maybe can't find that many houses in like those areas like Arlington or City Falls Church or Old Town or Vienna Tysons, then the next best thing is actually to move around a metro stop, right? So if you live around the metro stops, most metro stops will have some large developments near those metro stops, and they'll have some creature comforts. Metro stops in general are similar to off ramps of on highways, right? So that's usually where developers like to focus and concentrate their developments, right? So look for a metro stop that's maybe close to your desired living space, and remember you're looking at like a half-mile walk to that metro, and I think you should be fine. So there you have it. If you have any questions for me about where to live in Northern Virginia without a car, please, you can ask me in the comment section, or you can fill out the perfect home questionnaire, right? That'll be in the link will be in the description. Once you fill out that perfect home questionnaire, we'll schedule a time to meet online, and you can ask me anything you want about the Northern Virginia area. I look forward to answering any questions that you may have. Make sure you check out my other videos about relocating to Northern Virginia. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next episode. Peace.